Hi, I'm Susan O'Brien. I'm the Associate Director for Clinical Sciences at the Chao Family Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of California, Irvine, and I'm here in Orlando at ASH. And I wanted to take a minute today to talk to you about a very important study, which is the Elevate-TN study. And this is a frontline trial in CLL, predominantly older patients, randomized to one of three arms. And the control arm is chlorambucil and obinutuzumab. The other two investigational arms were Acalabrutinib, the new BTK inhibitor, or Acalabrutinib plus obinutuzumab. This is a large study of over 500 patients, and the primary endpoint of this trial is progression-free survival. What this trial showed with a median follow-up of 28 months is that there is no median PFS in either of the Acalabrutinib arms, whereas the median was about 22 months with chlorambucil. So in other words, Acalabrutinib, with or without antibody, produced a dramatically better result than chlorambucil and obinutuzumab. There were some other interesting findings from this, which is that our experience with using rituximab and ibrutinib, the other BTK inhibitor, is that we now know from two randomized trials that rituximab doesn't add to the long-term efficacy with ibrutinib. What we don't know is whether, if it was a different antibody, it would. So what's interesting about this trial is that we have a single-agent BTK inhibitor, Acalabrutinib, and we have a comparator, which is Acalabrutinib with antibody. And what was very striking is that the PFS curves do look separate. Very early follow-up, so whether that's significant or not, I don't know, but they do look separate with the antibody arm being a higher PFS curve. And if we look at the 30-month progression-free survival for Acalabrutinib and obinutuzumab, it's about 90%, and for the single-agent arm, it's about 82%. So there's a very interesting trend here suggesting that maybe what we assume from our experience with ibrutinib and rituximab, that antibody wasn't going to add, is not going to be true with a better antibody. So the finding here is also very interesting because where we see all the magnitude of the benefit of adding the antibody are in the patients with mutated IGHV, so the more favorable patients. Irrespective, both Acalabrutinib arms were dramatically better than chlorambucil, and importantly, about a week before ASH, this actually led to the approval in the United States, Canada, and Australia, in a pilot where all three countries approve at the same time, Acalabrutinib, which also interestingly in the package insert can be used with or without antibody because both arms were dramatically better than chlorambucil, so it can be up to the physician if they choose to use the antibody or not for various reasons. So this is a very important study because it has now given us Acalabrutinib as another non-chemotherapy frontline option for CLL.